Hello there, welcome to Club Nintendo level 212. How we doing, John?
I'm A-okay, Tim. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Are you able to sleep at night in anticipation of Mario movie coming so soon?
Well, until a minute ago, I forgot that it was even coming out next week. So I guess, yeah, I've been sleeping fine.
Okay.
But I am excited. I'm really excited for it. And they were like, this is the last trailer we're showing a couple weeks ago.
The trailers...
They popped like 2 more trailers with footage
that
I've never seen. I'm like,
They're good. I'm excited.
Yeah, I haven't really watched them, any of the newer ones, because I'm just ready for it. And it's so close. I'm not going to even spoil it, so...
Yeah, I wonder if they do a post-credit scene. Do you think they'll do anything?
Yeah, I don't know if my niece and nephew will let me sit through the credits.
Yeah.
Given their age,
not very patient.
No. They're gonna go. Let's go. It's done.
The Marvel movies haven't trained them to be patient through credits.
Well, maybe they do. Like my niece and nephew both like Captain America a lot. So
yeah, okay, very cool. How you doing, Aaron?
I'm doing pretty good. I didn't want to jump in, until I'd actually been introduced.
Yeah,
but
absolutely, I appreciate that. Yeah.
They are having a post-credit scene.
What? How do you know that?
Ooh, that's been leaked.
Just saw an article on it today.
They're just leaking everything about this movie. Why don't they just put up frame by frame the whole movie?
Yep.
Well, okay. Well, they're going to lead into the sequel that's inevitably coming for this movie.
It's a Luigi movie, right?
Could be Donkey Kong.
They could call it the Year of Luigi.
Oh no.
Yeah, we've already done that. It was a good year, but
it was a great year. I love that year. That was so fun. I collected all that stuff.
It was a rough year.
Oh man, Year Luigi. I was so into the Year Luigi. That was such a good marketing scheme.
Yeah.
I imported all sorts of stuff from Japan. Got all the things. Anyways, Tears of the Kingdom. It's no longer a vague, idea of what this game is. We had a gameplay reveal. Well, it's sort of vague still.
Yeah.
But we had a pretty amazing, I think, 12 minutes or so of showing this ability to merge items together to make your own boats and crazy weapons, and it just and how you actually get to the islands floating above Hyrule, and it looked great. It looked like, oh, this is being a good old time, just being creative in this world and trying to figure out what does what and all that.
Yeah, the trailer, it looked good, but at the same time, I think that it looks so similar to Breath of the Wild that I feel like there's going to be a lot of people that are going to just kind of hate on it because they're like, well, it's just like a DLC. Because there wasn't really a lot of graphical updates, I could tell. Even the UI looked the exact same. You pull up how they showed the bow thing where you could combine the monster parts to do a freeze arrow. It looked the
homing arrow looks so cool.
Yeah, it looked cool, but it's still the same kind of, just press a button and then press left and right. And I feel like that system was good for Breath of the Wild, but I think they should have updated it, because from my understanding, the only reason why that system was that way was because the game was originally made for the Wii U, so they had to change it up a little bit for the Switch. So why don't we see anything new now with this game? Yeah.
I also really like the ability for Link to go through roofs and mountains and caves and stuff. He's instead of worrying about stamina meter for climbing, if there's a cave, you can just pop on up through the mountain that way. Seems delightful the way.
I forgot what they called that. That was a weird.
It was a recall or something like that. Is that what you're talking about?
Where there was recall that redoes what an
if something drops from the sky, you can reverse it.
Yeah. Apparently any
but this was going through ceilings. I'm not sure what it's called though.
Traverse. I don't remember what it was called. I don't know.
But the cave instance was just hilarious because he was like squeezing through the cave. The ceiling was less comical, I thought.
Yeah, I don't recall seeing that. Maybe I looked away for a bit.
Yeah, there's that. You can reverse what items did. There's they call it binding. Is that what they're calling?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think so.
And I love the enemy that had like a fan weapon to try to blow you back to the surface. And I guess it's gonna be fun just floating from the island down to the surface. I think.
What do they call them? Sky islands, land islands.
Yeah, Sky Islands. Yeah,
Sky islands.
For a while, I forgot they were up in the islands until it's like, oh, we just got blown off. It's like, oh, we were actually up there. Because they're big. Like up there, there's like caves and, you know, they seem big. The islands don't seem super tiny.
Yeah, they do seem pretty big. I'm worried, like, how hard is it going to be to navigate all these islands and get around?
Yeah, and how important finding each of the islands will be. And yeah, we don't yet know, like, the whole, like, temples and dungeons and how that all stuff will play out. We just know about exploring this world.
I wonder if the Sky Islands will be like the dungeons, because they made it seem like you can't get to them whenever you want. You kind of have to wait for these pieces to fall, or maybe you'll be able to like get some sort of like vehicle or something. But it seemed like you had to wait for something else to happen, and then you can kind of fly over to the island that you want to get to.
Yeah.
So maybe they're not going to be the main place that we're spending all our time, but rather on the ground, trying to get up there.
Yeah. The vehicle construction seemed super curious and interesting. It's like add this fan to build a motor and stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I wonder if we're gonna have to use like parts to do like the binding thing, or if that's just automatic. You have to go like, you know, collect some sort of glue part as well.
Yeah. The natural evolution of this is you capture enemies and bind them together to create Frankenstein creatures.
Well, I'm wondering if binding items makes them unbreakable, and this is how they get around certain items and certain weapons not breaking.
Like, yeah, because immediately they point out, oh, the stick broke. That's a shame. It's like, okay, we still have weapon deck.
Yeah, and then they're like, you can put a rock on it, and it's like, okay, well, does that prevent it from breaking? Is it now like a permanent rock stick? Or is it going to break again? You know what? It'd be awesome if the Master Sword was like a binded. You know, you needed a couple things to bind the Master Sword together, and because of that, like it's never going to break. You know.
Yeah, imagine binding the Master Sword to something to make it even more powerful than the Master Sword. Is that even?
It's kind of like building a Master Sword. You know, you're binding. I don't know, binding it with magic.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can bind them all sorts of weird things. Like they did the snow arrow, the leaf
imagine
arrow.
Binding the Master Sword to like a pitchfork.
I think that they're going to limit it to only certain weapons that you can do that with. And maybe even further than that, they might even have like a weapon tier system. So only weapons of certain tiers can be bound together.
Yeah, it's we had the cookbook for the first game. I feel there's going to be a huge like community of trying to find all the weird, wacky things. And kind of like even today, you find people discovering new things about Breath of the Wild, I think. In 6 years, you'll have people like, look what I just discovered 6 years later. I think that will happen.
Kind of reminds me of, what was the game? It was like a zombie game. Yeah, where you're in a mall. Do you guys remember? I think it was like Dead Rising. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And you could basically just find like weapons.
You like a chainsaw and you just like went crazy.
Yeah. You can make like a Mega Man thing for your arm and go around and shoot zombies.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty much what this sounds like. Just make your own weapons.
Some of the enemies were weird in this. Like they're like floating rocks sort of things.
Yeah. They reminded me of other Zelda enemies.
Yeah, I mean they fit in, yeah, for sure.
Like kind of like turrets almost looking.
Wow.
Yeah, my cat didn't have any words to say about it.
Did you just throw that cat?
I just threw that cat.
I dropped her on the ground.
That was a loud thud.
She likes to
She's gotten big, huh?
She's very big, yeah.
Yeah, what happened to the kitten?
they keep growing amazingly.
They just keep growing. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. She just judges me endlessly when I'm in virtual reality. She just sits there and just stares at me. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm sure. She's like,
She
"What are
stops
you
playing
doing?"
with the cord when I'm in VR. She's learned not to
Oh
do
wow, that's
Yeah.
good because you've
Yeah.
smacked her so many times.
No. She just like realizes this is not a time to be playing with this cord. And she is concerned about the racing wheel and the pedals, and I'm using those. She's like, what are you doing over there? Yeah. Anyways, any other words about the Tears of the Kingdom?
Did we talk about the? We didn't talk about the new system at all.
Yeah, there's a new hot OLED system. The dock.
yeah.
Some pretty awesome Joy-Cons. That makes me jealous of my existing Zelda Joy-Cons from Skyward Sword.
Oh, you got the Skyward Sword Joy-Cons?
I have those. Yeah, I got those. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you got those.
Yeah.
Were those hard to get?
Not super hard to get now.
I did not know. Cool. Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah, back to the traditional gold versus the blue and purple from the old one.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, at the time of the Switch's lifespan where they can pump out like special editions to get these things like off the shelves,
Yes.
Like
the dock looks beautiful.
Yeah, it does. It looks good. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
It all looks
Aaron, do you
good.
regret getting yours before this came out?
No, I don't regret it. I don't really want to have like limited edition system stuff like that to where it's like,
Okay.
oh, this is like the Zelda system. I would like to have that Pro controller though.
That's pretty nice.
I didn't even see
Yeah.
the Pro controller.
Yeah, there's a Pro controller and a Switch case as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that Switch case looks pretty nice. I think those two, I actually do want those. I doubt that I'm going to be able to get them because they're so hard to get anything these days.
It's true.
It seems like.
I wish they sold the Joy-Cons individually, quite honestly.
Oh yeah, that Pro controller is nice. Oh, I do like that. Ooh.
Yeah, they should sell like the whole set with
They
the
should.
Switch, but then also the controller, like the Joy-Cons should be separate, and then you should be able to buy the dock separate. And
Totally.
because it's just like a white dock, you should even be able to just like get like a faceplate. Why didn't they have dock faceplates? Like that would be a huge.
That's gonna
Oh,
be the
yeah, like
next
Sony did with
Switch.
PS5s.
Yeah.
The
Just
next
swap
Switch will
out.
have faceplates, I bet, or something like that.
The
Dock
3DS had
faceplates.
faceplates. The new 3DS, the small one did.
They'll find
Yeah.
some way to they're like, well, we got to milk more accessories out of this thing. Like we got to find a new way to make people get these things.
Yeah, they could have done it with like the new Switch.
The OLED, yeah, they
Yeah,
could
with
have.
like the back of it, have
God,
parts
the back
you
of
can swap out.
the back on the new OLED is so much crappier. I hate the new.
What do you mean?
The
It feels so good.
no,
No?
not the back of the dock on the new Switch.
Oh,
yes.
is
yeah.
so much worse. It falls
Yeah.
right off all the time. It does
Yeah.
not
Mine's hanging
stay
off right
on.
now. I
I
don't
just
even
take
try
it
to
off.
put
Yeah,
it
I
on.
just take it
Yep.
off. The old one stays on so much better. This one literally just immediately falls apart.
I really like the stand on the back of this OLED Special Edition. It's like it looks like very well thought out where they placed the imagery on the back of the Switch.
Well, same with the Pro controller. I really like the circles kind of radiating almost from the
Yeah.
joysticks, and yeah, it looks good. This is a cool Pro
Mhm.
controller. Yeah. I'm like, I can't invest in a new Pro controller when there's a new Switch coming out. Like,
What are the odds stuff will be forwards compatible with new Switches?
it could be, but I'm still expecting there to be like some sort of new Pro controller that.
Yeah,
might
I mean,
have
I've got to
something-
imagine they're going to learn. Well, they've had the same amount of time technically to advance it. Like PS5's DualSense has so much better. Like the Pro controller has haptics, but it's like
Yeah.
old haptics. DualSense is just wildly good haptics. I wonder if we're going to get to that level with the next Switch.
Bring back analog triggers. It could have analog triggers
it
on it or
needs
something.
to have that.
Or like the DualSense triggers where you have the half step kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I consider
Yeah.
that a type of analog trigger. I think.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Well, I think if they're gonna have the Call of Duty games, they're gonna have that. because there's so many features in those games that uses that.
You think they could just hold down like a modifier, like hold down another button while you hold down the trigger to like
like a paddle on the
yeah, almost like a paddle. Yeah, almost like like
because they have paddles for some controllers out there.
I think if I remember right, there were even some guns that like fired differently depending on how
hard and how
how fast you pulled the trigger. So
yeah.
Yeah, I know DualSense has all sorts of things like that for different guns behave differently with the triggers.
Yeah, it is cool. Nice.
So E3, it's not looking good for those guys over there. Ubisoft, Sega, and Tencent previously committed to the show, and they're not going to do it. They're just like bowing out.
Yeah, that's
the
end of it.
Yeah, I mean, Sega had a huge booth. The year I went, it was like one of Sonic's anniversaries, and it was a huge freaking booth. Like that's a lot of floor space Sega's leaving behind. And Ubisoft, I'm sure, had a bunch of space too. And Tencent, they own everything now. So
I think what it comes down to is just the cost. So when they think about it, they're like, we can do all of this online. We could literally just have our own little small, theater where we just present all this, like rather than
the value's gone.
Yeah, and plus, like, not many people, I think, are really traveling for this. I mean, you might get a few thousand, right? Is it really worth that, throwing a huge event for a few thousand?
No. Yeah, I mean, the thing I missed about E3 was like you close the day with Sony and open it with whatever, and have a full day of like press conferences, these big bangers, just like a celebration. And now it's kind of spread out throughout the summer, and it's less exciting.
Yeah, I mean, they're much better off these days finding like 10 good YouTubers that everyone loves and just like inviting them in for like a little like personal, like, okay, play for an hour of this game or these couple games or whatever.
Totally.
And then like if they post a bomb video, then everyone's going to watch it, and that's going to get a ton of people talking. So like that alone is worth way more than like I think setting up a booth these days for like you said, a couple thousand people to maybe walk by. The thing about a booth is you can only have so many people there at once, whereas online you can have everyone all at once. Just I don't know, just doesn't make it doesn't make sense to me.
They were so expensive. Like the old Nintendo booths were wild what they did.
Yeah, they are cool. I mean, there was PAX East here a couple weeks ago in Atlanta. So people still go. I had a buddy that
PAX East was in Atlanta?
Yeah, it's usually in Atlanta, I think. Yeah.
I thought it was in Boston most of the time.
Was it in Boston? I don't maybe it was in Boston, but there was PAX something close down to here.
Yeah.
So so people still like to go to conventions and stuff, but for a big company, I don't see like Sega, like who gives a like who's going to play, what the Sonic Frontiers DLC, like who cares?
Yeah.
Like,
Persona 6,
Oh, yeah. Poor E3, that sucks.
I know.
I mean, at least they tried to bring it back. They did.
Tried.
They gave them a chance to say, "Do you want to come back?" And
I'm super curious what that show's gonna look like this year, if anything.
I think they're going to cancel it.
Yeah, I mean, you need people exhibiting for that to work.
Yeah.
Speaking of cancellations, 3DS and Wii U eShops are now officially closed.
Yep. Did y'all boot up your systems on the final days?
I did not. I did the 3DS thing like half a year ago, though, to fully prepare. So I got everything I really wanted. No,
I didn't, because I read that you can still go in and download the games you purchased. It's only for new purchases. So
that's true.
I'm not going to purchase anything. Yeah.
Well, I went in there just to get just to see what it was like before it shut down.
And you got to listen to the music again. It's so calming.
Yeah, and it was
great.
That's
the one thing they should bring over from those shops to the Switch. I want some music.
Yeah, that like Wii U shop was so much better than the Switch shop. I went to the Switch shop today, and it's just slow. Things don't load for like a few seconds, whereas on the Wii U, they loaded pretty much instantly, and it was smooth. It was so smooth.
Huh.
Yeah. Because that's interesting.
And you could even boot in the Wii mode and get to the Wii Shop, which is also closed.
Yeah.
A YouTuber spent nearly $23,000 buying every 3DS and Wii U eShop game. I believe he's donating this to some video historian museum type thing for archiving in some way. So, all it costs is $23,000 to own every 3DS and Wii U eShop game.
Jeez.
So for 3DS, you'd have to have multiple systems to even load everything up because you're going to max out the maximum allowable installable games. So,
wow.
Because I'm at that limit. I have the maximum number of games.
What is that? What's the limit?
I think it's like 312 or something. Let me look this up real quick.
That's crazy. I mean, who would think you would have more than 300 games, right? So
300 games is the maximum.
300 games.
Virtual console and regular titles you can have downloaded and installed on your 3DS. It's a shame because there are a lot more than 300 good games for 3DS. I mean, come on, Nintendo.
Yeah, I don't have that many games. My 3DS. I maybe have like 30 games total.
Oh, Aaron, that's such a
you know, because so many families have $9,000 to spend on their kids. You know,
I mean,
3DS.
some of them are very inexpensive. You have like dollar titles, you know, $10.
Yeah, that's for $30 a pop.
Virtual console titles, you know. It also includes like Netflix and other like just apps, I believe.
So anything on the system, pretty much.
Right. Yeah. So it adds up, you know.
Yeah, and we used to always try to fill it up by just sending you random spot pass stuff or whatever they called it.
Oh yeah,
you just
Street
open
Pass
it up.
is a delightful thing. I had my 3DS on me doing at work the other day, and I Street Passed like in the car with some random person. It's like so cool. Love it.
I wonder if they even ever consider something like that for Switch, given like more people being privacy centric.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
days.
a battery life thing or the privacy angle thing. I love it though.
It's probably a work thing. They got to maintain it and make you know, they got to recode it. Like it's not like they got to like rebuild it for the Switch. So they're probably like, nah, no, we're not doing that again.
Yeah, the whimsy of Nintendo was in full force for the 3DS and Wii U, I believe. You know.
Yeah, it seems like the Switch, they didn't do as much of that kind of weird stuff because I think that they weren't expecting it to be as huge as it was. And it was kind of supposed to be a side thing along with the Wii U. I think they were always planning of keeping them both going until
the Wii U was a total flop. I mean,
yeah, but
I think they wanted to get rid of that thing as soon as possible.
I don't know. It just seems like they would have done something a little more because I don't know, 5 years in, or what are we in now? 6 years in? I don't know. And it seems like, you know, they would have had something a little more planned for the system if it was supposed to be their main thing for the next 6 years.
Yeah, who knows? So, I just wanted to mention MLB The Show 23 by Sony, by PlayStation, has dropped on Nintendo Switch. It's its second year out, and it's getting better. Nintendo Life rated it a 7, improved from a 6. And I guess there's like a much better story mode and performances, improving. And so it seems like this is getting to be a solid baseball game on Switch, which is good to hear.
7 though.
7's respect. No, seven's like the bear. Seems like the lowest as like a good score.
I wouldn't want to spend full price on a 7. I think I would spend full price on like an 8.5 and up.
Yeah, but it's getting there. Like 7's like respectable territory. 6 is like but 7, I don't know. It's like a passing grade almost. So yeah, maybe wait for a sale. It seems like baseball on the go is a fun thing to have when you have a couple minutes to kill. And I wish, I don't know, does it have cross save? That'd be so cool doing PS5 and Switch bouncing back and forth.
I don't know.
Yeah, it might. Um, let's see. Cross-play and cross-save support between all the versions. So yeah, you could play this on Switch and cross-save it to your PS5, which is cool.
Buy the game twice.
Buy the game, absolutely, yeah. The Pokemon Red.
They're like, yes, it works with crossplay. Of course it does. Please buy this game again.
Yeah, and get them Game Pass, so you can play it there on Xbox.
Oh, is it coming to Game Pass, or is just?
I think it's already out on Game Pass.
Is it? Okay, then I need to play it there because I did see it was out.
Oh yeah, you get the
wanna
Game
play
Pass. Oh, did you hear they're getting rid of the $1 entry level for Game
Yeah,
Pass, finally?
probably because people like me abused it. Like, I don't know.
I got
how.
a refund for my $1 because I canceled it like on day 28. It's like, we'll give you your $1 back. It's like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not sure how, but I kept getting like the $1 offer. So I would cancel my subscription if I wasn't playing for a few months, and then it would pop up like saying I can get it for $1. So I'd do it again. And I just kept doing that multiple times, and now they're like, our system's flawed.
Like,
Yeah, I
hey,
don't know
we're
how
losing
they're
a lot of
making
money
money.
for some reason on this. Why are we losing so
Yeah.
much money? So you know what happened? Someone in finance went to someone and said, what the hell is all this money we're losing? And someone goes, oh, that's the $1 Xbox
Yeah.
Pass. And they said, cancel that right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, why is their average selling price of Game Pass $5 instead of $15?
They said,
Oh,
we cannot lose this much money on this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
think
almost know
even-
people that spend the full amount on Game Pass. I just get some deal and like stack them forever.
Yeah. But even trying it out for a month and paying the full price is not bad,
No,
in my
What's
opinion.
the full price?
15.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
think
bad.
that's for like the ultimate, right? Ultimate.
I think
for-
so.
Yeah, so that
15 a month?
includes
Yeah.
Yeah.
PC and also streaming. Like,
Yeah, I wish they had just a
live
console.
streaming,
I wish they had a streaming plan that was cheaper. Like I just want like a $5 streaming plan. No console.
What, from
No,
Xbox,
PC.
from Microsoft?
What's that?
From Microsoft?
Yeah. Because the selection is much less for streaming only. So it seems weird they have to pay the 15 for streaming, even though streaming costs them money, but the catalog is far less. So I kind of wish they had a low end streaming only plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The games might have to be built for streaming. It might be harder, or
I
maybe
mean,
they don't.
I don't
Maybe they
think
just run
they
them on
do.
servers.
I think it's a licensing thing, quite honestly.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, kind of like Sony, they do all of their PlayStation 3 games are pretty much all streaming. Like you can't really find any to
Oh yeah,
download.
PS3. It's all streaming. It's their
Yeah.
old PS now because they're still. I think they're working on it. I think they're working on emulation. But what I've heard is each game uses the cell processor in a different way. So there's no single emulation that would work across all of them. So what they're doing is they have like a little Skunksworks team that's going game by game and building a emulator for that game. And eventually they'll have enough of the library where they roll it out where it's native emulation.
Wow.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, but
but-
if they're streaming, they got to maintain it on the servers too, which is crazier.
Oh yeah, they have. I'm sure just a farm of these cell processor PS3s. Just like I don't know. I don't know if when they'll eventually all die or if they're still producing some cell processors for Sony. Like I'm not sure who made those chips.
IBM? Was it IBM? I don't remember. It might have been.
Yeah, but that was such. I mean, it was cool at the time, but like in retrospect, such a huge mistake by Sony. It just made that whole generation just a mess for them, and a mess today as they're trying to bring these games into PS5 and whatnot.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, anyways, the Mario movie we'll talk about next week. Aaron, are you seeing this in theaters or?
Yeah. I saw a trailer for it last night, or maybe it was earlier today. But anyway, the trailer got me hyped.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Okay, well, all right. So here's the weird thing: when I watch the trailer, I just go to like the YouTube, right, and I'm like, It's just a Mario trailer. But when I'm
Yeah.
watching something else and it pops up, I'm like, oh, this looks like a real thing. It actually gets me exciting. It's kind of interesting. I think it's just the way that you view it. But yeah, I'm gonna get my tickets for next week and try to go like opening night. Yeah,
That'd
It
be cool.
opens like on Wednesday, right? It opens like on a
That
weird
sounds
day.
it's the
about right.
5th, I think.
Yeah,
The
which
movies
is-
they open middle of the week these days to have a
that's
bigger,
weird. Why is that? That's
There's a bigger opening weekend sale number they can
Yeah,
point out.
because
oh.
they can count
And instead
all
of
of
midnight
that.
releases, they do like a 5 p.m. as the first showing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
We're
it's
going on
really
Friday.
weird.
I still need to figure that out if I'm going and when.
Yeah, I mean the trailers definitely got me. They got me. They pulled my heartstring. I was like, oh my god, this is like, this is unbelievable. This is beyond what I ever could have imagined for a Mario
This
movie.
is the
Especially after
creative
the last
genius
Mario
of
movie.
Miyamoto in the film industry.
I just am waiting for someone to get like their own copy of it and take out Chris Pratt's voice, and then someone do like a dub of like someone else's voice, and I think it's gonna be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even hearing Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, I'm like, man, you're not even trying to do a
Yeah.
voice. You are literally just talking. You were just
I
being
think-
you.
Bowser is.
Oh,
the
Jack
pinnacle.
Black's great. Yeah,
He's the pinnacle
that's
here.
good.
That
Yeah.
was the.
But he's always good. That's just Jack Black. He
Yeah.
always comes at 120%.
He does.
And Chris Pratt came at like 75%. It sounds like most of the time. He's like, "Who's
Yeah.
Mario? Yeah, I think I played Mario. It's the red guy, right? Yeah, I played that jump, man. I played the jump
Yeah.
game. Yeah."
Yeah.
And Jack Black's got like a friggin' Mario tattoo on his ass or something.
Right.
I
believe it.
Oh yeah, so that's just yeah. We'll see. We'll see the movie and we'll see how it goes. I'm still
Yeah.
holding out hope that that's not the worst part. If that's the worst part, I guess I'll be okay with it because there's so much else that looks like is going on that I think I'll be pretty satisfied. I think if they
Yeah.
start singing in the middle of the movie, I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. That might be kind of interesting.
Do you think this will have musical elements like that?
I don't
I
know.
think it will.
I
think it
don't know. I think
What
every-
does Despicable Me and other Illumination Studios?
They
movies
all
have?
have like one song, at least one song.
Isn't that that?
I
Hotel
mean, you could have a
Transylvania thing?
Toad chorus. Could be fun.
I'm okay with one fun song, but like, let's not go overboard here.
Yeah, let's not waste our screen time on that.
I think there'll
I mean-
be like one fun song that's kind of like sing along kind of thing. And then there's going to be like some new pop song by some like Beyonce or for what's his name, Pharrell or something like that.
Oh yeah, Pharrell Williams, the happy guy.
Yeah.
The Weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those people and it's going to be all upbeat and then you're going to hear it for the next 6 months.
Pharrell is so weird because I like his songs, but like he only does singles. Like he doesn't have a full album, does he?
And it's because he did in like the past.
Yeah.
Like he was in groups and stuff. But he's more of
Yeah,
a
he does like
producer these
collaborations and
days.
stuff. He doesn't. Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's he's on the other side. I think much more these days.
Yeah.
I don't know. The music, the instrumental music from the trailer makes it sound like they're putting a lot of work in just the atmosphere of the music.
Mm-hmm.
So even if we don't get a musical number, hopefully it's pretty cool to hear everything.
Yeah, I can have the
Um,
soundtrack on repeat during work. Just to brighten up my day.
Yeah, I wonder when that's going to be available. Wonder if
Probably the
that's-
day the movie drops in theaters.
I don't know. A lot of times soundtracks come out earlier.
That's true. I remember the one of the I think episode 1's Star Wars soundtrack like dropped or got leaked before the movie came out, and like one of the track listing titles was Qui-Gon dies or something. It's like thanks, Jigs. That's John Williams.
Qui-Gon's death, probably something
Yeah,
like
Qui-Gon's
that.
death.
or-
Yeah, I
Oh
remember that
my
was a big
god!
deal.
Wow,
The soundtrack leaked, and that was a big
that's
spoiler of it.
funny.
Yeah. So Resident Evil 4 has the remake has sold over 3 million copies already. Came out last week. I played the demo. I died against the chainsaw dude in the demo several times. I'm waiting to buy this when it comes to PSVR 2, which they've announced they've begun work on. And I'm very excited to dip into it when that happens.
Yeah, I was thinking about buying this, but then I kept watching people play it, and I'm like, it looks so similar to Resident Evil 4 that I already own, on GameCube, on Wii, and on PC.
Now, I should
So
mention I've never played Resident Evil 4.
wow,
This will
you
be
should
my
get
first.
it.
This will be my first experience when it comes
It's
to
on
VR.
sale for only like a couple more hours on the Switch for $9.99.
Yeah, it's like $8 or $10.
Why would
yeah,
I
on
play the
Switch,
Switch
yeah.
version versus this remaster?
Because it's the
better.
same
It just
game.
has to be better.
Yeah.
because it's the OG. It got all this praise back
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah.
Then you can go play like the remaster and see if
Yeah,
you like it better.
it's because it's $10. That's why. Because
Cheaper's always better.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's the first time
am
playing
holding
it,
out for
you don't need to play
virtual
the
reality
remaster.
Because they have done amazing work with like Village and VR. It's something else. So it was funny. You playing the demo. It's like I'm playing Village right now in VR. It's like, oh, some of these UI elements are very familiar from what I'm used to over there in Village. Like they've got like a template down for all these Resident Evil games that allows them to. Because they've been doing a lot of these, 2, 3, now 4, and it's all a familiar feel as far as navigating the world.
Yeah, it's interesting how each of the games used to have a different feel, and now it seems like they're kind of redoing the games and making them more similar.
Yeah,
as far as like the movement.
As far as the UI and stuff, especially.
Yeah, the UI too. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, it used to be like Resident Evil 4 was the first one where you didn't have the pre-rendered background, right? Or maybe that was another one. But either way, it was the first one with like this over-the-shoulder kind of third-person view. And I remember it being on. Like,
were the other ones first person?
No, they were third person as well, but it was like you kind of walk into a room and it's like the camera's in like a fixed position.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I remember playing this on like the GameCube, and when it came out to PlayStation, still like showing everyone like, look, like mine looks better because
it looked way better.
Actually spreads light
so
properly.
Much better.
Yeah. And it does real shadows and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool when that game came out. It was definitely like a wow, look at what we got. Like,
yeah,
one of those kind of moments like, this can't be real. Pinch me. Like, this is for us. Like,
yeah,
no one else gets
crazy.
this right now.
Yeah.
It's a good game. Yeah. I mean, yeah, $10, man. Just get the Switch version.
Yeah, get the Switch one. Hurry up.
Nah.
I might even buy it, even though I have it on the Wii, just so I don't have to boot up my Wii.
Yeah, I do have
OLED. On the OLED, it's probably great. It probably looks great on the OLED.
I do have 2 and 3 remastered for PS5 that were dirt cheap a while back, so I got those.
I'm gonna buy it right now.
Oh, a live purchase here and that.
Live purchase.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never played this one. That I'm enjoying 8 though, as we'll talk about a little bit here. Any other new stuff before we get to what we're playing?
I think that's about it.
Okay. John, Breath of the Wild. You're dipping back into this one. Are you hoping to finish it before the Tears comes out?
Oh, I'm not hoping to finish it once. I'm hoping to finish it twice before Tears comes out. What I'm doing right now is I'm playing through. I'm going through each dungeon, or excuse me, each beast.
Yes.
And I'm going to get all 4 beasts. I'm going to go play through it again like I did the first time. Probably not going to go hardcore on all the shrines. I'll probably just do the ones I need to and the ones I have to get through the game. Because I did that the first time. I did that, when I first played. The second time, I'm going straight for Ganon. I am going straight in for Ganon after I beat the game. I'm going to go full force, nothing else, like barely anything. And I'm going to see how
are you going to do it on
There's no new
master
game
mode?
plus in this, right?
Yes, no, yeah.
So well, there's like
no
a master mode, though. That's harder.
Wait, you're both asking a question. What's up?
Okay.
Tim?
Oh. There's no new game plus, so this will just be as difficult as it would be any other play. Okay. And Aaron was asking.
Oh yeah, I was saying
master difficulty level.
Yeah, because that is kind of like your new game plus. Once you finish it, you can do master mode.
And that's what you get. Like, what's that? You hit.
So I think it's has something to do with your health.
Yeah, a lot less health.
Yeah, I don't think it comes
Items
back.
break instantly.
I think you have to eat food or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny. Most games, like the second playthrough New Game Plus, like, oh, it's a little bit easier because you have some unlocks. It's always like, no, it's gonna be harder.
No, well, that's kind of what I want too. I want to like play through again to have like a normal gameplay, and then go through again and just go straight for.
Now,
like,
have you played the DLC before? Yeah.
No, I have not actually.
Is that something you want to do at some point? Or?
Yeah, I probably will. Yeah, I'll probably play a little of it. I'm gonna have 2 game saves for this. What I'm doing now, so I'm gonna have
the motorcycle.
Yeah,
motorcycle's really dope.
Yep, I'm gonna do that after I beat, I think, the original, or not the original, the first run through. I'll do that, play around, do some of the stuff there. But yeah, my point in that is just to kind of get back into the game, get a feel for it, and then I want to go do the Ganon. I think once I do that, I'm gonna be ready for Tears. Yeah.
Have you guys been watching the Ted Lassos?
No.
Okay. I just wanted to mention, not really a spoiler, but like in the first episode, a flight attendant references Breath of the Wild.
Oh,
she almost missed a flight because she was trying to beat the final boss.
Oh wow, that's a funny reference.
It's like that's good. That's
weird. Yeah. It's very specific. It's very specific.
Yeah, I thought that's pretty nice.
Oddly specific jokes, yes.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I get that reference. Yeah. So, Aaron, have you successfully purchased and started to download Resident Evil 4?
I did, and I was just thinking about it. I wonder if they carried over the Wii controls to where I could just detach the Joy-Cons and do pointer mode.
Oh, yeah.
That would be nice.
That's another reason to get the actual Nintendo versions. The motion controls are probably a lot better because of that Wii version.
It's true.
Yep, it's downloading.
Oh boy.
It's got a nice icon there.
How big is it?
I don't know. Let me see.
So I'm like taking a look at the Wii, the eShop here. Got 6 hours remaining. $10 for 4, for 6, for the original, for 5. We got the Revelations here. You got 0. And then you have 2 Cloud. That seems like and 3 Cloud. Seems like those would be bad to buy. Yeah, all the newer ones are like Cloud version, like Village.
It's 12.1 gigs.
Holy cow.
Yeah, pretty big.
That's huge.
I wonder if they did like some updated textures, because I thought there was like a version, like the PC version, I think, that had updated textures. So maybe.
Oh, there's the chainsaw. I'm looking through the eShop screenshots. That opening village sequence in the demo is very difficult, I must say.
It's pretty fun once you get the hang of the game and like you get used to like shooting them in the head and then kicking and then running away and then doing it again. That's pretty much all
they don't really give you enough ammo to shoot a lot.
Yeah, so you have to use like your knife and kicking as well. So you want to like, the way I used to always do it was kick them, run away, and then shoot them in the head.
Yeah, it's fun in Village and VR. I'm using the knife. I'm saving a lot of ammo. I'm just using the knife and just stabbing them in the head. Feels so good in VR, just like grabbing your knife and whacking
You
them.
need to put like a watermelon in your room so that way you can get the real effect.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
like
you do
stab a watermelon.
You get some haptics. I don't want to bust open any watermelons here. But that feels so good, and it's very visceral. Because I tried playing it in flats or whatever, the TV mode, many months ago. I owned it before I got the VR. I tried it, but I couldn't get past the first area. So I was just I don't know, not connecting with the combat and stuff. But
so is this one that's kind of just like a hallway simulator where you're just kind of on rails? Because that's
the VR.
Yeah, well,
no, I mean, you have
you're
full
saying you're
locomotion.
playing 8, right?
Yeah, 8. Yeah. So I'm in
Was
the
it
castle
7?
now.
That was kind of I heard it was just kind of like you're on rails, kind of.
7. 7. You're using a DualShock 4 within VR, and you're using head tracking. I hear it's very scary, but less VR-y than what they did with 8. 8's kind of a rethinking of the game for VR. Like you're grabbing a knife from your arm, gun like shotguns on your back, and like you're so you have to grab stuff off your body to to grab your weapons and do stuff. And there you can have a button to reload, or you can reload the guns manually, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, so it's totally rethought. The only thing they didn't totally redo are the cutscenes. It's in a VR mode where you're in the scene, but it's not interactive. Like it'll just do what it's doing, kind of thing. But yeah, and if you're using the shotgun, you'll have the head haptics. When you do a shoot, it'll like shoot you back. I heard one of the games it will know if like the gun's like close to you and do head haptics only if like I think this is in Pavlov, only if like guns like close to your head kind of area. It's just kind of interesting. It's like aware of that stuff. But it's bloody scary. Like they say 8 is less scary than 7, but like having this giant lady like through this castle, it's like the hell out of here. It's good, yeah. So I've got 3 of the 4 masks in the opening castle. So I'm about halfway through the game, from my understanding. I'm on the easy mode, but it's still very scary and good, yeah. But yeah, that's Village.
They need to release Alien Isolation.
That would be so freaking good.
VR,
I was
because
so
I know it's
scared.
on Steam VR.
Is it?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, I would love that. That game. It took me like 5 years to finish it because I was so scared every time I booted it up. But I did finally finish it. I think it was last year. And man, that would be good in VR. That would be. Yeah, horror games especially. They're hard to boot up because it's gonna be scary time. Once you're in there, it's a good old time.
Yep, there is a VR version.
Oh man,
just check.
Come on, Sega. Come on, Sega. Gotta petition Sega for that one. How's the Diablo 4 beta going, Aaron?
Well, the beta's over now. It was going on this last weekend. It was like the open beta, and then the weekend before that was like if you pre-ordered the game, then you can play. So I was playing it because I'm all about these like limited edition skins and stuff. And this one had, if you got to level 20, I think it was 20 during like the weekend beta, that you get this wolf skin. So I got to level 25. I wasn't really paying them like much attention to the story, but it seems pretty cool. The combat's fun. There was some issues on PC where there was like some memory leaks and stuff. I think a lot of people were having that issue, so I hope they fix that.
So this is another lesson: consoles are king. Don't use
because Diablo, I think it just works better with a keyboard and mouse.
You can hook up keyboard and mouse to your PS5.
Yeah, right? But I have a PC for that. So.
Okay.
I think they're gonna fix the issue.
So you play this on PC then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, they have like 6 classes that were in the beta. I was playing as Barbarian, and I was basically just doing like whirlwind, spinning around, hitting stuff with a sword.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I think if you like to just zone out and kill stuff, then it would be a really fun game to play.
It's a third-person game, not an over the head.
No, it's like isometric. Yeah, kind of overhead.
Overhead. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
I've also been playing Black Desert Online. They just had their 7th anniversary.
Very
and
cool.
It's a fun time. I've been farming, chopping trees, fishing,
Animal
I've
Crossing?
been going hunting. No, this is like an MMO. It's a Korean MMO, and
Black Desert. You're doing
Yeah,
that in
there's like a
Black Desert?
life skilling section where you could basically just do all this stuff like
Oh, wow.
farm and barter and do all the stuff besides combat. And
Okay.
that's pretty much how I play the
Do you
game.
barter with other real humans or the NPCs?
Well, the actual like bartering skill you have to do with like NPCs. You have to sail your ship out to certain islands and barter
Mhm.
with them. But then there is a central market where you can sell your items that you craft or that you find to other players.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've also been playing Mafia. This
Yeah.
game is awesome. I finished it.
This was free on PS Plus, I think, last month or so.
Yeah. And now I'm working on getting platinum. The story was really good. It was like you're this mafia guy in like the 30s, and he basically like it starts out and you're sitting down at this table talking to this cop, and you're basically trying to like work out a deal where he'll protect your family if you basically give up all the information. And he's like, well, let me hear what you have first. And then so you're just like talking. So each chapter you start talking to him and then you play through it, and it's pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, I own this.
Yeah.
So I gotta play it on
I
at
think you
least
should.
easy baby mode. Be fun.
It's a pretty tough game too. So I was playing on classic difficulty, which is pretty hard because you only get shot a few times and then you're dead. The driving is already hard, and I think in classic difficulty, it's like insane because
Is it kind of like a driving simulator as far as the?
the
Okay.
cars behave like old time cars would.
So
like,
my GT7 experience might aid me here.
yeah, it might. Because you definitely can't play it like a Grand Theft Auto game where you can just drive fast, hit your brake right before the corner,
Yeah.
and then turn. You have to like anticipate
Slow
where
down
you're going to
for a
turn,
turn.
slow down, and
Will
yeah.
you like do rollovers and wipe out?
I don't think I rolled over except for during one mission when you have a really fast car, but you can wreck your car and you can get hurt. Like,
Okay.
yeah. There's this race where you're doing these old time race cars, and it's so hard because you have to come in first. And yeah, if you want to get the platinum trophy, be prepared to be frustrated.
Does difficulty matter for that kind of stuff?
Yeah, you have to finish it on classic difficulty.
Ah, gotcha.
So I was like reading about it online. Everyone's like, do not do classic difficulty on your first playthrough. And that's what I did. So
that sounds like something you do.
Yep. And it wasn't too bad except for that one mission.
Okay.
But lastly, Metroid Prime Remastered.
Hell yeah.
And I'm on the final part. I was just playing that up until about the time we started recording. I went around getting all the collectibles that I knew I was missing, got all the energy tanks. And now I just need to go get the last, I think it's the Spirit Artifact or Warrior Artifact, one of those two, and then go fight the final two bosses.
Have you done this from memory or using a guide to help you? Or
so I did use a guide to figure out where all of like the energy tanks were, because I had no idea. I had never found all of those whenever I played the game in the past. I think I only had 8 when I finished the game before. So now I have all 14. Yep.
There's 14 in the game.
Yep.
That's it. Okay. Yeah. How were the mines for you? Was that a single run experience?
It was. So I remember you talking about how it was hard, and I was like, "Oh,
I
man,
gave up.
Probably going to
I need to root it back up at some point."
Yeah. So what I figured out was that I think the reason why you got lost is there's a point that you get to where it seems like you can continue in the mines and you could just kind of get lost down there trying to figure out what you're supposed to do, but you actually need to leave and go somewhere else and then re-enter the mines a different way.
Do you get a power up?
Yes, you do.
I don't think I ever got the power up. So after I get the power up at some point, then I leave.
Yeah. So did you get which suit do you have right now?
Explain the progression there.
So you have Varia suit, which is like I think that's like the gold one. Yeah. And then you get like a purple one.
I can jump underwater.
Yeah, that's the gravity suit. Yeah, that's the purple one.
Yeah.
So you need to get the next one, which is I forget what it's called, but basically you fight a boss, and then all this stuff goes everywhere, all that blue stuff, and then it fuses with your suit, and then you're no longer can be hurt by that stuff.
Is that like the Phazon suit?
Yeah, Phazon suit. Yeah,
You can't be hurt by what?
by the blue stuff that's all toxic, and when you step in, you get hurt. It's all over the walls and the floors and the mines.
Okay.
Yeah,
The radiation, it's like some weird,
yeah. And then once you get that suit, then you can re-enter the mines from a different location and go back to that spot and just run across.
Very cool.
Without getting hurt.
Yeah, that was such a frustrating area because I was having fun, but I just didn't have enough health to keep.
Yeah, plus it's weird that how they do that area. Like when you're in pretty much all the other parts, it's pretty easy to follow the map because it'll tell you, well, this lift goes here or whatever. But in the mines, there's like four separate areas that they just show linked together by like pink, and they'll show like, oh, this pink goes over here to this pink. And I felt like there were times where I went through the lift and then it like put me somewhere else I wasn't expecting to be. And because I was just constantly checking out the map, I was able just to quickly turn around. But I think if you're not looking at the map as you go through,
I was just going deeper and deeper in, kind of thing.
Yeah. I think you can get lost pretty easy.
Okay. Yeah, at some point I need to return to that. John, you're still waiting to try to find a physical copy?
Well, no, they're actually a lot easier to find now. I just ordered one from Target. It should be here like any day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that game too looks so good. Like I've been playing it with like the M Classic on this new Sony monitor, and it looks insane. Like,
ooh, are you on the end zone M9?
Yeah.
Nice.
And when it's like when it turns like pitch black in that game, it's like really black, and you have to turn on like the X-ray visor or something to see where to go. Which I don't recall having to do any time before because I was playing an old CRT.
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I forgot you got that monitor. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a good monitor. I'm a fan of that thing. So the Quarry I played. It was available on the PS Plus extra tier. Aaron, you raved about this last year for our Game of the Year discussion. Or earlier this year. And you're right. This is a great, story-based game. Decisions matter. You can kill different characters in your party or keep them alive. The story goes some really fun places. And it makes me want to replay it again. And I was blown away. I didn't really realize Dewey from the Scream series is in this game. That same actor, the same face model, just older.
Yep, David Arquette.
Yeah, that was cool. I guess Sam Raimi's brother is in this as the cop. Ted Raimi, I think. Just a good old time. And I actually I was having some difficulties with my home internet, believe it or not, my Wi-Fi. For the final chapter, I said, what the hell? Let me try remote playing this over cellular in my house. And I've never done this before. And I booted it up, and it looked and sounded great. There was an option to enable, remote connections, and I enabled a maximum data output for that. And I was surprised it worked. I thought I'd have to do some kind of remote access configuration for PS5, and I didn't. It was just up and running. And I feel like I've tried that with PS4, just never worked, ever. But this time it sounded and looked great, and it gets me very excited because that means I could potentially play from a different city with good 5G, and that could be a cool way to spend a lunch break, doing some GT7 races or something that way. I don't know.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I was excited by that. That was pretty neat. Yeah, highly recommended the Quarry if you have a platform that would work with this. I have to believe this would make for, I think, we joke about the cloud versions of games being crappy for Switch, but this kind of game I think could work with the clouds. It's not. There's some reactive stuff with making sure you avoid tripping over a rock, hitting the circle button and a directional pad or something. But it seems do you agree with this, Aaron? It might be okay.
I think it could. Yeah, I think it could work because there's not really like anything like even when when you do have control of your character, you're in a small area that you can walk around in. There's not really any huge open spaces. There's not a lot going on.
It's slow too. You're not
Yeah, it's
like
very slow.
sprinting. Yeah.
And it's like mostly black. So
yeah. Yeah, this could work on Switch Cloud if they could do that. And then I think it's on sale now on PS5 for half off. If you don't have the extra tier, I think it's like $35 or $30. And then I played all the Mario Kart DLC, and I've been going back and playing the original circuits, trying to get 3 stars because I had not yet done that on all of them. And I'm reminded just how incredible the original Mario Kart 8 circuits were, especially the one with the airport in it. That is like one of the best, and it's got like the Wario Mountain, where you're just going down this ski mountain. I'm reminded just how great the Mario Kart 8 courses are. It's such a fun game.
Are you trying to get 3 stars with like all CCs?
Starting with 150, then I'm gonna go for 200.
Okay.
Yeah. I know you guys are going with 200 or bust, but I want to start at 150.
I mean, when I first got the game, I think I got 3 stars on all the CCs.
Yeah, I
leading
went
up to
like
it,
50 through like 150. I never
Yeah.
did the 200s.
Do you guys do the reverse directions as well?
No.
No?
I do like playing that one, but I haven't ever got all 3
The
stars.
3 stars, yeah. Because that's 150 at reverse, right? I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
No, once it gets to 200, it's like when you switch to the 200, you click my page, and it's like all like it goes from like all gold stars or whatever gold, and then like half of them are 3 or 2. It's like that's hard.
And I've switched up my strategy. I went from the big heavies of like Donkey Kong and the cart to I'm playing as Baby Mario in the little motorcycle, fast acceleration, and I find that's working pretty well. Yeah. But I think I do like the big guys because their top speed is so fast. But in Mario Kart, you get hit by all those shells all the time. That seems like acceleration is a good stat to.
Yeah, I always play as someone small, like Shy Guy. I was a big fan of Dry Bones.
I'm a Toad. I like Toad.
Yeah, I love the Hyrule course, and it's kind of fun. Like they do, and Animal Crossing does this as well. The currency in those levels are for that game, the rubies or whatever. And one of the DLCs that just came out, Yoshi's Island, you have coins from Yoshi's Island, and the sound effect is different. The coins are different. It's like the little nice touches there. And the DLC is really good. So that Yoshi's course. You can even like hit a little Yoshi cloud thing. The clouds in the game you're trying to collect through the Yoshi games. You can hit that. And when you hit that, it opens up a new like track above the rest of the course, which is neat. So Mario Kart has been occupying my time on Switch. Really fun. And then more PSVR 2. I beat Horizon Call of the Mountain. Some incredible fights in that game and some astonishing views. Like it's just really good game. It's so much fun. Some very intense battles. Really good story. Not incredible, but good. Super fun though. And then and I'm going through it now to try to get the platinum, clean up all the collectibles, and I need to do some challenge modes and stuff. The Gran Turismo 7, the wheel and pedals have arrived, and I am blown away with that experience. I've never owned a proper race wheel that has like force feedback and stuff. This is not the days of old where you have some cheapo like thing that has no resistance. Like as I'm wiping out, like I'm getting better at like correcting the spin out, and like I feel like I'm getting better at driving. Like if I ever wipe out in some rain or storm, I'll be better equipped to like recover.
Are you going to get a proper racing chair, and like?
I'm not sure if I have room. I have so I'm on my wheelie. I'm on the wheelchair, the spinning desk chair, for most stuff. But when I have a like card table chair that does not have wheels, because I instantly discovered you can't be on wheels when you're driving. That doesn't work. But I'm not sure. Space wise, it is nice to have the card table chair that just folds up, and I'm not sure I'm ready for the space constraints of that quite yet.
You could just go to a junkyard also and just rip out a real seat from a car.
Right. Yeah. But there are, and I have the stand and stuff for the wheel and the pedals, which is pretty compact. Like if I ever get, substantially more space to work with, I have seen some setups where, the chair and wheel and pedals are all kind of one piece, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
But right now it's a more compact setup, but they're on a stand and stuff, and the pedals aren't sliding around, which is nice. But it's incredible. It's just like in the nighttime races, you without even looking in the mirrors, you see the headlights just in your peripheral. It's like, oh, there's a car coming up behind me, so the lights are coming, and like you can see cars just based on like the lighting changing, which is wild. And just turning your head and seeing different cars, and that's just it's just so immersive. Like doing cockpit view in TV mode, you're not able to turn your head to see what's coming up behind you, and the mirrors are actually fully functional, and with the wheel feedback, like you can feel the road under you as you're going over the tracks. And I basically had to relearn GT7 from controller to wheel. It's a very different experience trying to get control of your cars, and so it's been like a week or two of like relearning this game, and I'm getting to the point where it's I definitely feel like I'm better with the wheel. Like some of the license tests I'm actually passing versus a controller, which I found very difficult. So I'm now trying to get the platinum in GT7. So I'm working towards that. And it is a definite system seller for PSVR 2, I believe. Like it's just so good. And the Apple Music works really well on the PS5, and in GT7 it'll mute the in-game music and replace it with your Apple Music. So
That's cool.
yeah, so I'm racing to some John Coltrane, and that's a good thing. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, smart like that. So it'll leave in the engine noise and the race noise and just replace whatever song's playing with your Apple Music selection. So that's cool. And you can do Spotify as well, and podcasts work the same way. So if I ever use Spotify for podcasts, I could do that as well. Have some radio, I guess, that way. And then we already talked about Resident Evil 8. I'm like halfway through this game. Super scary. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. It's VR AF, as people say. It is. They do all the things right in this game to like bring on the realism and presence in this game, and I get freaked out quite a bit with these creatures coming after me. And some really good boss fights so far. I'm pretty close to taking on the big lady from the next boss fight, I believe is what's coming up. She does not want me in her house. Wreaking havoc in there. And I picked up so I had the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners as a free PS Plus game, Chapter 1. They gave us out like a year ago. So I got that as a free game. And I did a $3 upgrade to the Tourist Edition, which was on sale a couple weeks ago. And that entitled me to the PSVR 2 upgrade for free. So I just did the intro area of that. And that is an incredible looking game and feeling game. Yeah, some really good combat. It does some similar things to Resident Evil with like stuff on your body. You have backpacks, you can kind of look through it and grab things from the backpack. And but this is a ground up PSVR 2 and VR in general only game, and makes really good use of the controllers and stuff. And like Resident Evil, really visceral stabbing things with with your hands and stuff. And you can even punch zombies, I guess. In the sequel, there's like special gloves, I guess, in Chapter 2 to punch zombies. So after I finish 8, I'm gonna fully dive into that. But I want to finish Resident Evil 8 before I start embarking in another horror game. So yeah.
Yeah, the VR thing seems really cool, but there's a couple of things that like the more I hear about it, I'm just like, I don't think I really wanted to get that now. Like you're talking about all this movement and stuff. I don't want to be doing all this movement when I'm playing my game. I feel like sometimes, right? There's like some like Wii games that were fun, like bowling and stuff, but I feel like if I'm gonna play like Resident Evil, I want to like just kind of sit down and have a more traditional
Oh, it's so
game
much fun
experience.
stabbing the freaking zombies and stuff.
Mm.
It's great. I actually, I also have Synth Riders, and I do have some like exercise games. I actually tracked my heart rate I did a dance workout for Synth Riders, and I was working up a good sweats, and my heart rate was like consistently in like the 140 to 160 range. Like I had an expert mode going, and so I'm using it as a workout environment as well, which is nice. And I pre-ordered Creed, the Rocky VR game that comes out early April, so it is becoming like a workout environment as well for me. Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, are you gonna get like the rowing thing?
Yeah, I got kayak, and
yeah.
The races, they do get pretty intense. Like it is a pretty good workout. Like yeah, so I'm pretty tempted to order some like wrist weights to attach to like up the ante.
You could also just get some like resistance bands. Those are pretty cheap.
Yeah, that could be a thing.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, in certain games, like you can't just sit there and zone out. Like Tetris, you're not moving around a lot. There are a fair bit of games that aren't like, super, movement based. But
yeah.
With I mean, part of the great thing of these new controllers are like the haptics in the controllers, and like one of the games, Pavlov, you're like ducking on the ground like to take cover in this like shooter, and like there is you could hurry it up a little bit, some of this stuff, which is I'm glad I cleared out this basement area, so it's like this room is open for me to move around and do stuff in. So,
but is it as good as Zelda VR though? No,
there's never been a Zelda VR.
Yeah, there has. Breath of the Wild.
In the Labo?
Yeah, the Labo.
Mm-hmm.
Have you not done it? It's amazing.
I have. Oh, yes, I think I tried that one time. Yeah, I did try that.
It's so smooth. I feel like because like the resolution is like dropped down, it's even smoother than playing the game regularly. Yeah.
I will say that the headset looks great. Like the visuals in this thing are just like stunning. Yeah. Highly recommended. PSVR 2. It is if I have time to play like down here, I'm hooked up the headset or something versus using the monitor for other games. So yeah, that just means my backlog is getting bigger and bigger, and I've been diving into different like PSVR podcasts and like listening to some backlogged episodes. It's like I might want to hook up my original PSVR for some of the older games that are really well reviewed that came out like late PSVR lifespan. They're kind of cheap right now, like Blood and Truth and some of the other ones. So I'm looking into hooking that setup down here to have both headsets operational. I got an HDMI switcher so I can have the 120 frames per second on my monitor working fully.
That was another bad thing about the switcher and like the monitor that we have is that it doesn't do all those automatic settings. So the PlayStation 5 recognizes the switcher over the monitor itself.
Oh,
yeah.
So if I go through the PS5 through a switcher to the monitor, it won't recognize the stuff?
Yeah, because I have mine going through my PC and it doesn't do all the automatic like the HDR calibration and stuff. You have to set it up yourself.
Okay, you have to play around with that, make sure that all works. Because that breakout box on the PSVR 1 is such a fun thing to deal with. Yeah, and then Aaron mentioned the monitor. GT7 is getting a 120 frames per second variable refresh mode for people that have fancy monitors. That's kind of cool. That's dropping tonight.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's it for me.
What about Hogwarts Legacy? When you coming back? When you gonna go finish
it? So the game's done. I finished the whole game, and I'm stuck on this last couple trophies here, Aaron. I got most trophies, is that these damn collectibles that are just scattered throughout this map.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna get the platinum. This thing is such a pain in the butt.
I think you have to collect every single thing in that game, which is crazy because they hide stuff everywhere.
In
And
caves too, right? I have to like make sure I didn't miss anything in one of the caves.
yeah, so the caves that are in your little room or whatever, you have to go search for those because there's stuff in there that doesn't show up until you're like right up on it. The
This
best
platinum
thing
is
to
just
do
ridiculous.
is literally just
This platinum is just ridiculous. I have such mad props for you for getting this platinum. I don't know how the heck you did this thing.
yeah, so you just have to walk around the entire world and just cast that thing.
You know how big this world is there?
Yeah, that's literally what I
huge.
did. Is just went around for like 4 days, just casting that like Revelio spell and just finding every single chest.
This is where you need the PlayStation Elite controller with the paddle, so you can just like have that program to just cast Revelio constantly.
Yep.
God, it's such a fun game. I love the game, but this platinum is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I do hear Hufflepuff, you get to go to Azkaban as one of the quests.
Yeah. Which you get to do I think if you go for the platinum.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of the early quests.
Yep.
That seems cool. I kind of want to check that out. It's wild. Like the least popular house gets to go to Azkaban. No one else gets to have that fun side quest.
Yeah.
They did that on purpose, It's like
well, they each have their own little like quest at that point. They're all slightly
but that's like
different.
the best one. Let's be real, right?
No, I think they were all good.
Okay.
To be honest,
it's funny. I thought because I'm in Slytherin, I get a deal with Sebastian and all his dark tendencies. But evidently, that's in all of the houses.
Yeah, I remember when we were first talking about the game, and it seemed very much like the choices you were making and stuff had like a huge effect on the world, and like you were actually making friends with Sebastian, and like you were getting a story that was kind of tailored to what you were doing in the game. But yeah, it seems like everyone had that experience.
So I mean, it makes me glad it shows Slytherin too, because it seems such a Slytherin storyline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the game was kind of focused more towards Slytherin and kind of the dark stuff.
I mean, it's fun cursing the Abracadabra and the killing curse.
Yeah,
that's a fun baller movie. Like these trolls that take forever to bring down Abracadabra, you're dead.
Yep,
just bring them down.
Yeah, and it's weird that it would allow you to not learn it. So some people choose not to do it. They're like, no, I want to be good and not learn all the spells I can.
Yeah, that's not fun. You want to be bad.
Yeah.
Harry Potter game. Just like.
But this game, though, towards the end, once I realized it didn't really matter what you said to people, I was just like choosing whatever option, and then it would always turn out the same way. And so you could say something super nice and then be real mean, and then they would still respond with like the nice response because the conversation was already going in that way. So
I love that you can cast the killing curse. And it's like, oh, you're a little dark, aren't you? It's like it was like, yeah, you don't lose friends over killing people.
Yeah. One thing that was cool though is that the NPCs that you fight against, they learned what spells you cast, and they would like call it out. So they'd be like, it's like this is the student that uses whatever, and then yeah, that was cool.
But yeah, really liked the story, really good. I did all the other trophies except for the collectibles and the other houses, so I got like all the challenges completed and stuff, pretty much.
Well, you need to come back to it, finish it up.
Yeah, at some point.
There's going to be DLC.
They announced there's not, isn't there? They announced that?
I thought they said there was going to be DLC.
Oh, I thought they said no DLC for this.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
I'm excited to see the sequel. It seems like they have this world built out. They could do a sequel less time than it took to build the original game.
Yeah, that's what we thought about Breath of the Wild, too. So.
That is what we thought about Breath of the Wild. See how long that took us. But Miyamoto, or no, what's his name? Aonuma said they finally finished the game as of a couple days ago.
Well, I would hope so.
That's wild.
Do you think they actually finished it just a couple days ago? Or has this been going
Probably.
for a while now?
Yeah, I think so because
Yeah.
They take every week,
Yeah.
every
They
second they
delayed
can
it,
get.
So they did delay it on purpose. It wasn't just like a timing thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's wild. So there's a lot of anticipation. This game better be good. This Zelda game.
What if it's not? What if it's just like okay?
Don't
It's
say
like
that. No,
Don't
this
say
is-
that, man. This is gonna be. It has to be a masterpiece. It really does at this point.
don't do that to us.
It has been hyped up way too much.
I know that's the thing. It could be like overhyped, and that's why
the
they
hype
took
is
so
like
long.
the worst thing. The best movies I've ever gone seeing are the ones that I have no expectations.
Well,
But
You know.
but we do have expectations here. though.
You
don't
do.
say it. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Yeah, we have expectations, so that's the challenge here.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have watched anything because that's what I did going into the first one. Like Breath of the Wild, I just knew that it was going to be the new Zelda game coming out the day I get my Switch. And I didn't watch any trailers or anything. And it was amazing. And now I feel like, like not only playing Breath of the Wild already, I'm going to have expectations, but then also kind of seeing what they've showed us. Yeah, this game better be a 10 out of 10.
Yes, it should. Oh boy. Well, with that said, anything else, Aaron, before we wrap it up?
Nope.
Okay. What about you, John?
Oh.
Anything else? Yep.
I've been playing Animal Crossing. I did not get into that. And it's pretty wild. Because no
Yeah.
one's really talking about it anymore. I don't know if people are still playing this game, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like my place went to springtime. It's like rainy. I'm trying to catch all
Yeah.
the fish that you can only catch in the rain.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's such a good game. Yeah. 3DS is where I really sunk more of my time in Animal Crossing. I did love the Switch version. Put a lot of hours into it, but
Yeah, there's still something about it right now that seems more of like a burden sometimes. Like I really have to be in the mood to play it, but when I am, then I really get into it. But the 3DS one, yeah, I could quickly just like hop in, play a little bit, and just like close it and then like come back to it later. But
yeah.
not so much with this one.
Yeah. I have I was going through my old 3DSs and I was reminded I have a cartridge of Animal Crossing for 3DS and I have a digital copy so I could trade with myself because I had extra
Yeah.
consoles. So,
I remember you doing that. That was wild.
yeah. Because I'm lame like that. Yeah. Anyways, anything else, John?
No, I think that's it.
Cool. Where can folks find you on the interwebs?
I'm on Mastodon at John Wesley A at
Excellent.
mastodon.social.
There we go.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
Sharon.
I'm also on Mastodon. You can see my thing here on the video version.
Yes.
Sage Levi at Mastodon, but without any of the vowels in there.
Yes.
But social with the vowels.
Social
Yeah.
has the vowels. Yeah.
And I'm at TCHATN at mastodon.world. Yeah. Because,
Fancy.
very fancy. With that, we'll talk to everyone next time. Thanks for listening or watching. Bye.